Who are you in this vast multiverse?
We are Venom.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got a brand new Comic-Con Venom preview to break down. We got our first look at the Green Goblin and more details on what's going on with their connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future of the Venom movies a la Carnage. There have been a lot of rumors. Thankfully, they addressed those in a new interview. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Make sure you enable alerts so you don't miss any of the Comic-Con videos next week. There's a new round of that Infinity War Blu-ray giveaway that I'll explain at the end of the video too. First big thing, we got a shiny new preview of Venom's head with the smile that goes all the way back up to the top of his head. This is right out of the comics. We are way past Topher Grace Venom at this point. If you've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, then you understand how good they're getting with motion capture CG, swapping actors' faces. So what you probably saw in a lot of the behind-the-scenes videos I posted earlier this year is you would have Tom Hardy running around on set with motion capture dots on him, and they would just do this in post-production. It's very similar to what they do with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Fantastic actor, Tom Hardy, fantastic actor. Technology is just in a place now where they can allow those actors to just do their craft to the best of their abilities and worry about like big heavy costume stuff later in post-production. Though Tom Hardy's fantastic, I don't think there were any doubts about his performance. I think there were just questions about how they were going to change Venom's backstory. They did explain some of that during this new interview. So they talk about Eddie Brock in San Francisco as a down and out on his luck reporter, just like he is in the comics. He's recovering from a recent scandal. They don't say what the scandal is, but he's in disgrace and looking for a big break. That comes through his girlfriend who works for the Life Foundation, who is Riz Ahmed's character. You see him strapped into this chair here. This seems like after they find that he has the symbiote, but before he learns to control it, and before that we are Venom moment. So timeline of the movie, Eddie Brock, down and out on his luck, finds out about what's going on at the Life Foundation, thinks they're really shady, goes to investigate them. Remember, he's kind of shady himself, morally great, so he's not above breaking into places to get leads on stories. He finds out what's going on with the symbiotes, but doesn't understand it, so just gets freaked out, takes off, the symbiote binds to him, and you get that first scene in his apartment where he still has no idea what's going on. He wakes up and probably has vague memories of what he did the night before. Then the Life Foundation men come chase him down, and the symbiote starts automatically protecting him. That starts their relationship, and they spend like the next little bit of the movie going back and forth. Like the movie is about them achieving symbiosis and becoming a single organism together. We are Venom. So it seems like that's the big payoff at the end. And it does sound like Tom Hardy did the voice for Venom and Eddie Brock. He actually, like when they were doing this interview, demonstrated both of them, so he goes really deep when he does the Venom voice. One of the other cool teases Tom Hardy dropped is he said, there's a biting off heads issue, which is not what you would expect from, say, Captain America taking down a crook. So this is Tom Hardy basically saying that the Venom symbiote early on, when they're still sort of bargaining with each other, trying to figure everything out, starts literally biting people's heads off. So even if this We Are Venom is happening later in the film, he might be one of the criminals that Venom bites the head right off of. So that would definitely earn you a hard R rating, which was the pitch for this movie a long time ago, but I think that we were all kind of wondering what that would actually translate to on screen. And when he was talking about the difference between his version of Venom and his Eddie Brock character, he referred to Ren and Stimpy. So Tom Hardy just outed himself as a big Ren and Stimpy fan, which I think is pretty awesome. The interesting thing, too, is the way the article refers to its relation to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the Sony sharing arrangement with the Spider-Man Peter Parker character. So that's Tom Holland's deal. Like when you refer to the sharing arrangement, that's just for Tom Holland's Spider-Man character. It sounds like Kevin Feige and Marvel don't really want to have anything to do with Venom right now. I think I mentioned that in the last Venom video that I posted. Like they're just taking a wait and see approach. They're not going to use the Eddie Brock Venom character in any Marvel Cinematic Universe movies anytime soon. So I think that backdoor confirms that no symbiote during Avengers 4 or Spider-Man Far From Home. For now, what the article is saying, this isn't Marvel or Sony saying this, so take it with a grain of salt. that the Venom movie is not part of that Sony-Marvel sharing arrangement, and whatever they do with Tom Holland in the Venom movie, if he does appear, it will be separate from Marvel's sharing arrangement. So yes, technically Sony has the right to do whatever they want to with Tom Holland, but I think if they haven't already, there's probably been some meetings more recently to create an addendum for this Spider-Verse that Sony's creating and how much or how little they're allowed to use Tom Holland in that. Marvel and Kevin Feige have no control over what Sony does with Venom, the Morbius movie that Jared Leto's doing. That's right, Jared Leto is going to be Morbius for Sony in their Spider-Verse, but they haven't said a whole lot about that movie, while at the same time also still being the Joker in the DCEU. And if it wasn't clear, the Morbius movie will be connected in the same sort of universe with the Venom movie, but that will not be directly connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But they are free to use those Sony characters in future movies if they want. It sounds like now, based on what this interview is saying, is that it's more like James Bond continuity, where like, yeah, it's same characters, same universe, but the filmmakers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe don't want to deal with what Sony's going to do with their movies, but they might want to use those characters later. So if you do see Eddie Brock Venom pop up in the MCU in like 3 or 6 years, when they get past that third Spider-Man movie, just assume that enough time will have passed that unless the Venom franchise just blows up big time, they'll just be free to do whatever they want to with Eddie Brock's backstory when he shows up for the first time. So if Tom Holland is attached to this Venom movie, if there's a Spider-Man cameo, it's a lot easier for them to do that if he has his mask on. Usually that's the kind of stuff that gets ironed out in test screenings, like they'll change the costume a little bit or they'll reference Spider-Man in some other way. But if you look at all the white lines on Venom's costume here, it does kind of look like he's going to have the spider symbol by the end of the movie. But the Comic-Con trailer is going to be posting Friday night. Of course, I'll do a video for it. We'll get a much better look at Tom Hardy in the costume. I'm sure it'll be badass. I'm not expecting to see any teases for Carnage till the actual movie drops itself. I think they're going to try and keep that under the vest. But I think we definitely feel like Woody Harrelson is playing the Cletus Cassidy character, and he'll be Carnage in the next Venom movie or wherever these characters pop up next. During that panel, Sony's also probably going to drop a new trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We got our first look at the Green Goblin. So he looks a little bit more like Ultimate Green Goblin, but they're going with a more Ultimate universe because it's Miles Morales. So I think even if you haven't read a lot of those comics, you have a vague idea of what it's going to look like. But the really cool thing that they just confirmed is that Nicolas Cage is actually going to be playing Spider-Man Noir, and they're going to be unveiling other versions of Spider-Man that will appear during the movie too. Haley Steinfeld is playing Spider-Gwen, Liev Schreiber is playing the Kingpin, and they have not revealed who's playing Norman Osborn Green Goblin, so we'll probably find out about that at Comic-Con. But that's all happening Friday night. Saturday is going to be Warner Brothers panel, so that's the Aquaman trailer, a Shazam teaser, and then maybe some behind-the-scenes teaser for Wonder Woman 2. Then obviously all the TV stuff that's happening. I've already got a pretty good idea of what my Comic-Con video schedule is going to be. I'll be sure to give everybody video updates on Monday or Tuesday about what that's going to be. I'm still waiting for them to announce a couple panels. So everybody freak out, it's going to be raining trailer footage really soon, and even though Marvel Studios isn't doing any Hall H panels, they also might drop some news bombs about Captain Marvel, Avengers 4, and Spider-Man Far From Home. Even though I'm not expecting Tom Holland to come to the Sony panel on Friday, he could show up, but I'm not expecting it. Leave all your requests in the comments below, and all you have to do to enter that Blu-ray giveaway is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So click here to learn about Nick Fury crossing over with Spider-Man Far From Home, and click here for that Shazam teaser. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.